Hi, this is Tommy Itchy Otis, the pinstriper. I'm here today to talk about a job I did about 1995. This is the famous Don Orosco 1932 three-window Ford, built originally by Pete Eastwood. Then they had a scrape, and Pete kicked them out of the shop, and the car went over to Roy Brizio's to get finished. Then he approached me on doing the flame job. Well, Don Orosco had a private crew, flat towed the car in from Monterey, the 17-mile drive where he lives in Monterey, and he took a private plane in from his airport near in Monterey over to the Van Nuys Airport, and I met with him to discuss the layout and spent 5 hours, 5 unpaid hours, to do the layout. And we discussed the layout, and I brought many rolls of 1/4-inch blue tape with me, and each time I did a layout he didn't like it, and I desperately tried to stay away from the louvers, because we all know that's a real son of a gun to do. And he finally decided that he wanted the louvers. He also was going to bring his son to okay the final deal. Well, he didn't bring his son, and we decided that this was the layout he liked, and this was the hardest layout to do because of the louvers. And we also did the tops of the fenders. I got $2,650 to do the job back then, 1995, I guess, 94. And about a day and a half later, he calls me up and he says, well, my son doesn't like it. And I says, well, your son, he was late for school, Flames 101. That's too bad. You signed the paper for the layout, and you're getting this layout, or I'm going to push this coupe outside the driveway, and you can come pick it up. Because it's all taped up, it's all scuffed down, and you agreed to it. Your son was late for class, man. You know, Flames 101. So, with that, I hung up the phone. Actually, I almost tore it off the wall. Then he called back an hour and a half later. He said he was sorry and to please continue finishing the job. Now, I've often looked for this car on the internet and never could find it on the internet. So what we did was, my friend got an award for Best Flames, Stephen Young's 32 Ford two-door sedan that I've also flamed. Now, he got an award for Best Flames at the Peterson, and so they gave him this award, another flame job that I did. I might add that this particular flame picture hung on the wall at the Peterson, but a much bigger version of it. I would say it was 5x5 or 6x6, along with my black 32 Highboy. This was the biggest pain in the ass customer and the biggest pain in the ass job. Now, unfortunately, Don Orosco, he made a lot of contributions to hot rods, and he was also working on making reproduction Arden heads. Now, you know, you're not supposed to speak ill of the dead, but he's dead, and that's just the way it goes. We're all going to go that way. But because you can't find this car on the internet, I desperately wanted to put it on YouTube while I had this picture, because I'm giving it to a friend. You know, it's just one of the many dramas you do in pinstriping and flame painting and scalloping and pinstriping. Once in a while you'll run into a real a-hole, and this one was definitely mine. Now I'd like to show you a couple other things that are much newer projects. This is a toolbox I did for my Oilsome Roadster. I had my friend Greg Stevens make me an old plumber's box toolbox to sort of act like a pit kit for my Oilsome. And you could see here, I made a kind of a small cartoon of my Oilsome Roadster, which is my last hot rod. And over here I did a jalopy of the decal they used to have at Freeport Stadium in Long Island, New York. And I gave all my tools to my younger son. And over here is some tools that I need when I go see my car in storage. My car is basically all finished. It was built by Randy Clark. I designed it in 1997, 96, and presented it to Billy Joel to build, and he wrote me a really nice letter. He declined, so I thought, well, if this is going to be my last hot rod, I should use this car. And over here it says Earl on the oil can, and over here Old Squeak. And there's the Oil's a Man pinstriping since 1970, and there's the Hellings and Stelling race car logo. And over here is, of course, my Panatella Pete, my bulldog. And I always have a left and a right bulldog, so the logo, the cigar matches, goes forward both ways. Tommy Otis, Oilsome Roadster Pit Kit, and my wife's name, Yvonne Rose. Can't do nothing without her. She's the force behind the horse, guys. And nobody ever picked Oilsome for a license plate, so I was lucky. There is an Otis Ford in Quogue, New York, Long Island. And this is our, our 1929 Ford track style Model A Roadster pickup, dedicated to my mother and father. I designed the car in 1997. Randy Clark took the car that was started by somebody else, who I won't mention, and built the car, and he did a fantastic job. And Artie Regan built the nose, and I made the buck for it. And on this oil can it says Goose Grease. And of course on this can, I'm a New York greaseball, so it says the Duke of Earl, oil. And this here is let's see if I can get better lighting. This here is an oil painting I did of my car. This was pretty recent. And because that toolbox is so damn heavy, I had to put get a lowboy trailer for it, a lowrider trailer, and a battery kit. So when I visit the car where it's stored, in case I want to start it and do that, I got everything I need. I will not drive the car unpainted and unfinished. I don't drive rat rods. I drive finished cars. Over here is my tea bucket. Here's my black 32. That one put me on the map. Thank Jesus for that car. My 36 was a nice sled, but it was no fun to drive. Here's the LA cart, the LA tub, which I wish to Jesus Christ I never built. And I wish I never saw that family. And here is Randy Clark and my Oilsome Special. And there's a clubhouse I made for my children when they were small. And a really cool turn-of-the-century cart that held all my enamels. Even wound up having put Itchy up there in lights after we got rid of it. Here's a car that Gray Baskerville took a picture of. This was my 58 Yeoman that I bought from Boyd Coddington. And I had all kinds of Cadillacs. I think that was a 68, 60, yeah, around 68. Here's Norm Grabowski's old tea bucket. I'm sorry, not tea bucket. T-Bird, with a picture of the La Bamba guy, Richie Valens. This is my Goodfellas Cadillac. And there was my Fleetwood. So we had a lot of fun. And we had our day in the sun. Now we're kind of living in the shade. But we're still at it, still striping. And that's it, brother. Be well. God bless.